Howdy, y'all. Welcome back. As it says, I am one high-tech redneck. And of course, as always, the views and opinions expressed in this video are solely the views and opinions of the person giving them, namely me, the host. So now, on to today's topic. As I promised last week, this is gonna probably make some people mad. I'm gonna get people furious to see this video and listen to my reasoning, but I am gonna ask one very important question to everybody out there and really think hard about this. How badly has Zach Bagans hurt the field of paranormal investigations? That's right, Zach Bagans, the lead investigator from Ghost Adventures, the bro man himself, Mr. Macho Tight Shirt Zach Bagans. I think the problem is his shirts are too tight, personally. I mean, whoa, dude. Never mind. I do a terrible impression of him. I'm not even going to try. So, don't get me wrong. He is a very passionate ghost hunter. He has a lot of enthusiasm, and he's very passionate about the idea. However, his technique, and I said he is a true ghost hunter by definition. It's his technique and his way of looking at everything is a ghost. He's a terrible debunker. Terrible debunker. I watch Ghost Adventures when I want a good laugh. The overacting, my word. It drives me nuts. He doesn't analyze things properly. He doesn't debunk properly. He goes in. Everything's negative history to him. The terrible history of this place that made ammunition that was used to maybe save a lot of lives. You don't know that. He always focuses on the negative history, the dark history of this place. Now, I've never met the man personally, so everything I'm going to say about him is what I've watched on him on TV and what I've heard second and third hand from other people who have met him. And to be perfectly honest, everybody that I've talked to that has personally met Zach Bagans, with one exception, has said he is a major douchebag. It's not an act. He is that arrogant and conceited and full of himself. He is bad. The only exception to that has been Dave Schrader. I met years ago at a paranormal convention here. No, I'm not going to tell you where because I'm not going to give that away. Keeping that to myself. So, yeah, Dave seemed to like him. He really liked Nick and Aaron, but he really never talked bad about Zach. But other people I have met have just went off the rails on how full of himself he is. But his personality aside, his personality is bad to me. His personality is bad, but it's his technique of investigating that really drives me nuts. I mean, I'm sorry, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. Never seen someone get possessed, especially a weekly basis. He's always getting possessed. Oh, I'm sorry for the faces. I don't know what I'm doing with it. He just drives me nuts. My face gets all funky. He does. I can't even get this out. It's so bad. He overacts every little noise, every little IR shadow is a ghost. Every car driving down the highway a mile up the road is a noise of a ghost. He doesn't debunk anything. Nada. And then, I mean, you've heard the great stories. Which one was it? Aaron got fired because of his he got fired because of his expression that things have been faked and edited and reshot. Revelation. That's the word I'm looking for. Aaron's revelation of the faking of evidence and reshooting of scenes for Ghost Adventures. And then there was his ripping into Nick after he left the show for saying he was an investigator on Ghost Adventures to promote his new show. So, that. And then he goes into and creates Paranormal Challenge. We're going to pit two teams of investigators against each other. And you have to have so much of this type of evidence and so much of that type of evidence. But we're going to limit how and where you investigate. Doesn't work that way, dude. You're supposed to have been investigating for years. You should know. You don't always get evidence. I don't care how haunted a location is. There is no guarantee that you are going to get evidence from a location. Oh, it's unreal. I mean, they use some really cool gimmicks and gadgets on the show, but I'm just using this as a form to rant against Zach Bagans. Yes, this is what this episode is boiling down to, and I apologize if any fans of Zach. I really do apologize. Like I said, I've never met the guy. I don't know what kind of man he is personally. All I know is what I've heard and what I've seen, and I don't particularly care for him. So, that aside, how has he hurt the field of paranormal investigation? Well, it's simple. His antics and his antics and attitude and the poor way he presents the field of paranormal investigation surprisingly is popular. I guess people watch that and they want to see someone scream and jump and get possessed every week, which doesn't happen. And then when legitimate investigators go in and try to investigate places, people are expecting what they see on Ghost Adventures, and it doesn't happen. People, I mean, we dealt with a client who was convinced they had a demon haunting them. We were in this place 3, 4 times. We could find no evidence of a demon. Actually, the conclusion we came to was there may be some small paranormal activity in the house. It was more likely most of the activity was poltergeist style activity. And when I say poltergeist, I mean this type of activity that is latent telekinetic activity, unknown telekinetic activity. The one client we think mentally stressed out and was causing most of the activity to occur. And we had them convinced, and things were calming down. The place was getting back to normal, and then another team, they messaged some other team that had a psychic, which our team does not. And the psychic over the phone told him, "Yep, you have a demon," and things went boom. So we ended up having to wash our hands of that case because there was nothing we could do for these people. And this is the type of thing that Zach Bagans has brought into this world. This is what people who watch his show, especially Ghost Adventures, especially, thinks you're gonna have every time. Years ago, we met a team of young kids, and I could tell they were fans of Ghost Adventures, and I felt bad for these kids because their EVP sessions were cruel and taunting. Don't get me wrong, I've provoked a time or two, especially when we first started years and years ago. I was a pretty nasty provoker at times, um, but these kids' entire EVP sessions were nothing but provoking. It was like watching an episode of Ghost Adventures. People think that's how you're going to get responses. Screaming and hollering and calling ghost names and just and they were so convinced that all those places were going to have demons and everything else. And it's like, kids, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. Um, Team apparent, of course, no longer really in existence. They've had some different issues along the way, but I think part of their issue was their adherence to Ghost Adventure style investigating. So, I mean, and then it's even hurt other teams and other shows. Ghost Hunters is a perfect example. When I did my video a while back, does that differentiate the difference between ghost hunters and paranormal investigators? I used Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters as an example, and I stressed the early seasons of Ghost Hunters were good example of paranormal investigators. But as you watch the later seasons, the drive for more sensationalism and to keep viewers with was almost a direct response probably to the popularity of Ghost Adventures. So Ghost Adventures even hurt Ghost Hunters the show. I'm sorry, I think it did. Um, but yeah, I hope people out there watching this video don't think that what you see Zach Bagans do on Ghost Adventures is how it happens. It's anywhere near reality. It's supposed to be reality television, but it's not. It's he overacts. He it's just nasty. So, like I said, I do apologize if anybody is a fan of his. So, I was hoping this was going to be a shorter video. I know I got off on a little bit of a rant. Like I said last week, I'm going to try to keep getting these videos out every week. This coming weekend is National Ghost Hunting Day, and I have stuff to prepare for that. So I can't guarantee I'll get something out next week. I hope I do. Hope I'll see y'all later next week. And until then, happy hunting. Catch y'all on the flip side. I'm gone.